Hey there, self-care warriors. Welcome back to Self-Care Haven. Today, I want to talk to you more about some of the exciting research that has been done over the past few years on narcissism and aggression. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the claim that when we talk about narcissism, we must be stigmatizing the disorder. But in reality, the most competent and trauma-informed mental health professionals, as well as the most successful researchers who have actually researched this disorder, actually supports everything that we've ever talked about on this channel, in articles, in books about narcissism. For example, there's been research to show that both narcissistic and psychopathic individuals engage in what is known as jealousy induction for the purposes of power and control over their victim. This is when they deliberately manufacture jealousy, and this has been shown by actual research. But that's not the only research links narcissism to different forms of aggression and bullying. In fact, in 2021, researchers conducted a meta-analysis of 437 independent studies, which totaled over 123,000 participants, and it showed that increasing levels of narcissism are actually associated with aggression and violence. And this link between narcissism and aggression was significant, both males and females of all ages. Narcissism was associated with all forms of aggression, including physical, verbal, and indirect forms of aggression, such as malicious gossip, bullying, both in real life and online, as well as aggression against innocent bystanders. Now, this type of aggression included not just reactive aggression, which is reactions to what they perceive to be provocation, but also instrumental aggression, which is the deliberate, planned aggression that is actually usually associated with psychopaths. So although individuals with high levels of narcissism engaged in aggression due to what they perceive to be attempts at provoking them, they also responded aggressively in circumstances where there was absolutely no provocation at all and lashed out in narcissistic rage. Another interesting fact about this meta-analysis is that it also showed that both grandiose and vulnerable forms of narcissism had associations with aggression. That means that even the vulnerable narcissists, the ones who are more introverted and seem shyer and less grandiose, who are a bit more covert, they also engaged in these types of aggression. And high levels of narcissism didn't even have to meet the full criteria for narcissistic personality disorder in order to have that kind of significant association with aggression. Which means that even if you are with a partner who has subclinical levels of narcissism, which don't meet the full criteria, the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-5, you could still be on the receiving end of aggression. Now, aside from this meta-analysis, there's also been a lot of research on sexual aggression and sexual coercion and narcissism. Talk about two studies in 2003 and 2008. And the study in 2003 by Bushman and colleagues showed that individuals who were high in narcissism were more likely to subscribe to rape myths, such as if a woman says no to sex, she may actually mean yes, as well as other many victim-blaming beliefs. Individuals who are higher in narcissism also demonstrated lower levels of empathy for rape victims than individuals who were lower in narcissism. Narcissistic individuals rated film depictions that included sexually coercive elements as more entertaining, more enjoyable, and more arousing, sexually arousing, than individuals who were low in narcissism. Male narcissists, specifically in this study, reacted more punitively, negatively, and aggressively when they perceived that they were being sexually refused by a woman. In another study in 2008, covert narcissism in men specifically was significantly associated with the perpetration of physical assault, and sexual narcissism in general was significantly correlated with two other measures of maladaptive narcissism. So now we know from research that narcissism is associated with all forms of aggression, all forms of bullying. Yet in the 6 years that I've been speaking and writing about this topic, and I'm sure a lot of other researchers and writers have experienced as well, we've been met with this accusation that we are stigmatizing this disorder. In reality, competent mental health professionals and researchers understand the nature of this disorder. When we talk about these traits and behaviors, we are speaking facts that are supported by social science research, not to mention millions of survivor experiences all over the world, which show distinct patterns of these types of behaviors in relationships with these types of individuals. Speaking the truth is not stigmatizing. It's based on social science research. It's supported by facts. Another thing that research can help us do is to put our experiences into perspective as well, and the experiences of others. One of the biggest misconceptions you may have if you've been involved with this type of individual, whether they were narcissistic or more psychopathic, is that this person who was toxic to you will grant better treatment to other people. But a person with warped moral values, a lack of empathy and conscience, aggressiveness, and the ability to engage in this type of cruelty and bullying and sadism is not someone who can sustain a healthy long-term relationship. These characteristics and behaviors, such as jealousy induction, verbal bullying, malicious envy, which has also been shown to be connected to narcissism by research, will always be present in them, and they will eventually be unmasked in the course of a long-term interaction with a narcissist. So you have to stand firm in the reality of what you experience and not the fear of missing out on what is actually a callous and exploitative individual. Instead, be more fearful that you are missing out on the precious time and energy that you could be losing in your life, which could be spent on more productive things like accomplishing your goals, dreams, building your social networks, contributing to your mindfulness and overall well-being, contributing to your financial success and abundance, paving a career path that is nourishing and enjoyable, as well as even pursuing other romantic relationships that would actually be healthier for you, building self-care habits, cultivating a sense of self-love and self-compassion, manifesting great success. All of these things you could be putting your energy into. You could be wasting that time and energy while you're performing emotional labor and wasting emotional resources on a narcissist. So I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you have experiences of the types of aggression or bullying that you experience at the hands of a narcissist, or other research that you found interesting about narcissism, please feel free to share below. And if you haven't done so already, please do check out my latest book, published by New Harbinger Publications and endorsed by numerous mental health professionals and experts on narcissism, The Highly Sensitive Person's Guide to Dealing with Toxic People: How to Reclaim Your Power from Narcissists and Other Manipulators. It's available in all major bookstores, so you can go to your local Barnes & Noble, or if you prefer, you can also purchase it online on all online retailers. And fun fact, it was also endorsed by Dr. George Simon, who is one of my favorite authors in this topic of manipulation and narcissism. So I recommend you check out his work as well as the other wonderful therapists who have endorsed this book. I hope you're having an amazing summer, and I look forward to hearing from you. Wishing you many blessings, and until next time, take care.